It's testament to our armed forces, their bravery and valor and sacrifice. I was excited about shooting in Kashmir. I've had some film crews that have gone and shot in Kashmir. They have had wonderful experiences. So I had that image of Dal Lake in my head of Kashmiri Kali. Yeah, it was just of this beautiful paradise on earth that unfortunately I'd not been to before, and I wanted to explore it. And when I reached there, it was just seeing that postcard coming to life and shooting on Dal Lake and the shikaras. It was quite a dream come true. Actors were doing very righteous hero roles. Mine was a little different because I was playing these grey shade heroes. It's good that people accept heroes as flawed human beings. You don't have to do everything righteous in your life to be a hero. I've never got films reduced. I've always had film offers. It's my most loved film. Acknowledged by the audience and just love for the film, the music, and it just garnered audience over these almost 2 decades.
Hi, my name is Jigar. You're on Times Entertainment. Today we are with Emraan Hashmi. Emraan, your film Ground Zero is based on the difficult or turbulent time which happened in Kashmir. But have you ever been to Kashmir before you shot for the film?
No, I'd never been there. So I had no preconceived notions of how the shoot is going to go. I was excited about shooting in Kashmir because I have a few friends who are from there. Some friends who've gone for vacations there. They've thoroughly enjoyed themselves. I've had some film crews that have gone and shot in Kashmir. They have had wonderful experiences. So yeah, it was something that I was looking forward to.
Okay, but what image of Kashmir, like for example, when I say Kashmir, my mother tells me that we went to Kashmir when I was a child. So back then, it was before insurgency at that time. So she has a very different image of Kashmir what you and I might have at that time. So what image did you have? Did you carry any image of that sort, or you had heard about stories?
I had that image of Dal Lake in my head of Kashmiri Kali. Yeah, it was just of this beautiful paradise on earth that unfortunately I'd not been to before, and I wanted to explore it. And when I reached there, it was just seeing that postcard coming to life and shooting on Dal Lake and the shikaras. It was quite a dream come true.
But were you able to explore other regions as in Kashmir?
I mean, during shooting, we went all over the place. So I wouldn't say I was there. In my free time, yes, we used to sometimes go for drives and stuff. But I didn't have too much of free time because we were pretty on a hectic time schedule there. So it's all about going to locations in the shoot and then enjoying these locations when we were shooting there.
And the Wazwan, the food?
Yeah, I actually had that pretty late in life. I had that 3 days back. Quite nice. But I was on a strict diet when I was shooting, so I couldn't end up eating any of that.
Kashmir ke khana nahi kha paye.
Yeah, I know. That's just one regret I've got.
Okay, but let's say for example, in Tiger 3 you were completely negative. Here you are on the other spectrum of the character scale in that sense. Do you take time to adjust when you swing from one side to another, or you're like, no, I'm an actor, it's my job to play a particular kind of role?
No, anyways, there was a bit of time between the two films. So, and it's not like I've not done films where I've suddenly just switched roles. I think I probably used to find it a little overwhelming in the beginning of my career. But now I need a few days to phase out and prep for the next one. It's not like I'm one of those actors that suddenly I'm shooting for a character, next day I go to the next one and shoot another character. I need some prep time. But it's manageable. It's manageable if I have the script on time, some time to kind of soak that in, which is important. I take the script way before I shoot.
So how long before you got this one script with you?
Oh, I had a good amount of prep time for this. I had a good 5 months to prep for this. But again, I was shooting for something else. So it was not dedicated 5 months where I was free and I was shooting and I was working on this. I was shooting for something else. I finished that. Then I had probably a month to kind of prep. While those 5 months, I was training heavy and I was kind of getting into physical shape for this. But just soaking the script in, the beats of the screenplay, discussions and all was a month and a half.
Which is a good time for any actor to settle down in a particular role.
Yeah.
Now, Emraan, if I see your career graph, morally complex characters is what kind of people associate that character with. They think of it, they think of you. Do you think now people are more open to that? People are more open to accepting flawed characters now, or were you okay with them back then as well?
I think there was less back then. I think you had more unidimensional. Most of the actors were doing very righteous hero roles.
Yeah.
Mine was a little different because I was playing these grey shade heroes, which is a unique thing for my films. I think now you see this resurgence of or change in the kind of heroes that are, I don't know if it's a reflection of our times, of having these toxic characters on screen,
Yeah.
entitled toxic characters. Maybe it is a function of how society has become now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you see a lot more variety of character-based roles now rather than just unidimensional heroes. It's good that people accept heroes as flawed human beings.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything righteous in your life to be a hero. You could play those grey shades out. As we do in our life, we make mistakes, and then we have this idea of redemption or learning we get from it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you ever turned down a role because it was too vanilla for you?
A lot of them, yeah. A lot of them, yeah. I've turned out this very, very run-of-the-mill roles, things that don't just toe the line and go down a route that's very predictable. I've probably rejected a lot of those films, yeah.
So you always wanted to fight against the tide, because that's how I think that's how I've seen your character in that, like you as a person, as I say.
Yeah, I think it's by default. I think I started off my career with these kind of a little, I would say, wicked characters
Footpath
and
murder,
completely like morally ambiguous in a sense, and that became part of the image on screen that the audience liked seeing me as, and then filmmakers followed suit and they were offering me, roles of this kind of in that same zone. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, but did you never get bored, or did you never question saying, why again one more complex character?
No, I love playing complex characters. I have something I'm not kind of complaining about. I think for me, it's extremely satisfying that at least that complexity should come as a variation, or there should be a difference from what I played the last time. I try to keep a variety in that, but it has to be morally complex in a different way from the role I played before. And then of course I get a moment, sometimes I play like this is an out and out hero's character. It's testament to our armed forces, their bravery, valor and sacrifice. So it's good to kind of variate that and get something like Ground Zero also.
Do you at times feel that probably when you make a patriotic film, kind of you end up bordering jingoism, and how do you not tackle that side?
Yeah, I try to see if the director wants that, but I think in this it was never even a chance of that happening, because Excel Movies is producing it. They don't have that kind of sensibility. They don't make this kind of films. It's dramatic, entertaining, logical, and it's something that I think suits my sensibilities. Tejas also saw the film that way. So I think it's something that I was pretty kicked about when Tejas offered me. Just is something our frequencies matched, and I felt that okay, this is something that'll be interesting.
Okay, if I look at your career, in the last decade or so, it's been a difficult time for you in that as far as box office is concerned. When you see the number of films being offered get reduced every year by year, how do you deal with that space?
I've never got films reduced. I've always had film offers.
Okay.
In an industry where every actor goes through their troughs and kind of ups and downs, it's still an industry that has been very, very kind and supportive, and I've been able to maneuver that and still get offers. So that's never been an issue with me, of the offers. They've never slimmed in the sense, I might have got a little picky choosy with the stuff that I'm doing, because I'm like, okay, now I'm doing the line where I'm doing something where I've already done this before. I need to offer something new to the audience. It's just that. So it's always been my choice to kind of reduce the number of films that I'm doing every year.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. So when I met you for Tiger 3, you told me that Ayaan was in Goa doing some chess. He was playing some chess tournament. Yeah. Is he?
He is. Yeah. He's very fond of the game. He still plays that. So he was just there. He had gone to Europe now for a tournament. So he's enjoying it. Yeah.
So he's like trying to be a chess player, like professional.
He's a chess player. He's got
Like
his international rating. Yeah,
He's got international rating as well.
Yeah.
What rank is he at? I mean, I don't know.
Right now he's around 1700.
Wow.
Yeah. So it goes up and down.
Yeah.
Obviously. So he's 1700. Yeah.
So he competes on regular basis in Mumbai, in India, across.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Wow. So was that talent natural that you saw it, or he just picked it up?
He just picked it up. He's just someone who has this kind of knack for it, I guess. It started off when he was pretty young.
Yeah.
And he kind of nurtured it. I think, more than me, I think my wife has been instrumental in pushing him for these tournaments and just pushing him to kind of nurture the skills. And he enjoys it. He's passionate about it.
Yeah. How does the family now look at when it's Ayaan? How does the family look at it? Because whatever happened as a child with him, and now that it's done and dusted and all, but how does it look? How do things pan out now?
I think we just emerged as a unit stronger than before, and it's a learning. It's something that is just from the experience of just 5 long testing years in our life. It's just we wanted to give back also through this experience. That's why I wrote the book.
Yes,
and hopefully it was a memoir where it could really help other parents and fighters and survivors. So that has been the goal ever since this happened.
I remember back then when he was going through his period, you were funding cancer people's patients, surgeries and everything, if I'm not wrong, at that time.
No, we try in our capacity as much to kind of help out whenever we can. So,
Okay. One of the things which recently caught up about you was the sequel to Awarapan. How excited are you about that one?
Very excited.
Because at one point I was upset because the film did not do as great as what I was expecting out of it, but it just stayed with people.
Yeah.
The song also stayed with people.
Yeah.
And now when the sequel comes in after so many years, it was just like, imagine. I'm still getting, because it's the film which stuck with you.
Yeah.
What was your experience of it?
It's a film that got a lot of love through the years, almost 15 years since. It's my most loved film.
Yeah.
Acknowledged by the audience and just loved for the film, the music, and it just garnered audience over these almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
And we saw that love pour in when we announced the sequel. And we didn't want to put out a sequel just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
We just wanted to be very, clear about, this is a script. We got a great script, and now we're going to put this out there. So we did that, and we're happy with the tough job of making the film and living up to that expectation. But we have a good blueprint for the film. The script is everything. It's the foundation. So we got a good script, good music, and now the making of the film is important.
Is music done? Like, have you?
No. It doesn't get done till even the shooting. We still keep hunting and fine-tuning stuff.
So when does it start shooting? This year?
July, yeah.
Wow. And directing it by Mohit?
No, Nitin Kakkar.
Oh yeah.
He's directing.
Okay. And also you're also making a South debut?
Yes, I'm doing 2 films there, OG and Goduchari. So that's up for probably release end of the year.
So what made you go to South?
Just the fact that a lot of action is there right now. Films and a lot of films are being made. A lot of the cutting edge stuff is being made there. And 2 films I like the stories of. And I say, okay, it's good to explore something in Telugu also. Frightening because I don't know the language. It took a bit of a learning curve to kind of learn it. But yeah, happy to be doing that.
But you spoke Telugu?
Yeah. Telugu, yeah.
Like you learned it properly?
I've learned it, yeah.
Okay. And so, I know, one thing was very famous about you that you don't watch much cinema, but has that changed
No, I do. I do. I don't know where this came about. I don't watch too much cinema. I must have said in some interview that probably I'm working so hard right now, I don't get time to watch. Sometimes when you're shooting back-to-back films, and this is way back in the time when we didn't have the iPads and the OTT.
Yeah.
So I think that stuck with people that I don't watch too many films because I said that, okay, now I'm working so much, I am not getting time to watch movies. Which is a fact. I was doing back-to-back 4 to 5 projects every year.
You had massive lineup.
Yeah, so I do watch a lot of stuff. I have a lot of, OTT. I might not get too much time to go to theatres.
Yeah.
But if, watch it at home with the family.
Okay. One thing which was said about you is that probably you have the highest audience connect after Salman Khan.
Yeah.
At that one particular phase wherein you were the biggest pool at single screen theatres.
Yeah.
Did you ever analyze what connected you with the audiences that much back then?
I think it was the novelty of the characters that I was playing. the recall value of music, and just relatable characters. They were not those squeaky clean righteous characters. They were connecting something with the audience deep down inside, that okay, here's a guy who's our guy. Like he's got his quirks, he's got his flaws, but deep down inside he means well. And
True.
I guess that's what connects with the audience.
Okay, my last question to you is, Mihir Singh, your trainer,
Yeah.
so your trainer has trained you for a very long period.
Yes.
Since his Tiger 3 is what he's trained you.
Yeah.
What kind of change has he brought to your fitness levels, or into you as a person? Because
Oh, a lot, because I think training with him, it changed my entire mindset towards training. It's become almost like a meditation right now. I get up and I, lift heavy weights, and it's because of his training and his form that he taught me. Of diet, which mine was all over the place, by the way. I didn't know what I was doing wrong with my diet, so he really streamlined it. Him and Kuhu, both of them streamlined it, and they got me into that same training regime which I've been following day in and day out. And it's just become a way of life now.
Cool, Emraan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.